Hello, thanks for joining me. The social movement I decided to discuss today is the Occupy Wall Street movement. Today I'm going to be going over it and its impact on the American society. How it came about. A lot had changed in the economy after the 2007 economic recession. It was possibly the worst economic recession since the Great Depression. A swirl of questions began about whether the recession was the result of some combination of corruption, gross negligence, and incompetence by the financial institutions. However, during the early stages of the financial crisis, the U.S. government distributed $700 billion of Troubled Asset Relief Program funds, commonly referred to as bailouts, to these large multinational corporations to enable them get out of their debt. Payback for this generosity resulted in expensive tax bills, which was quickly followed by large numbers of foreclosures and evictions. So it was the citizens that suffered from this, and this was how everything started. The amount of money in circulation decreased, which caused the worth of businesses, corporations, and individuals themselves to drop. The crisis adversely affected the stock market both nationally and internationally. This crisis has created a new vulnerability for middle-class Americans, and the poor or homeless citizens continue to suffer. The majority of Americans are in debt, and there is no idea how long it will remain that way. Due to the circumstances at hand, 77% of Americans are finding themselves living from paycheck to paycheck, and families are now forced to go to bed hungry or rely on food stamps and church pantries for their daily survival. The movement and how it came about. This movement began on September 17, 2011, in Zuccotti Park in New York City's Wall Street financial district. This movement, within its short period, spread to over 100 cities in the U.S. and actions in over 1,500 cities globally. OWS is self-described as a leaderless organization, but with a consortium of working groups. Micah White, Priscilla Grimm, and Justina Turney are the three known board members of this organization. OccupyWallStreet.org is the official website of this movement, used to interact with its supporters and the world. The reason for this uprising. Issues that resulted in this protest are social and economic inequality, greed, corruption, and the perceived undue influence of corporations on the government, particularly from the financial services sector. This movement marked the heightened frustration of the general public. A lot of citizens felt betrayed. People thought they had planned well and believed they and their families would be protected, but that wasn't the case. However, hard work, determination, sacrifice, loyalty to corporations, and education were seemingly expired tickets to obtaining the American dream. The question, you're working for capitalism, what is capitalism doing for you, became center of discussion at this time. We the 99% in social inequality. This slogan became popular during the rallying. We the 99% refers to the income inequality and wealth distribution in the U.S. between the wealthiest 1% and the rest of the population, which is the 99%. The social inequality is evidenced by the skewed distribution of wealth. At this point, wealth wasn't the problem. The wealth possessed by the elite is problematic when it is used in an unethical manner or in a way that advances individual interests over the collective. Their behavior demonstrated a blatant disregard and indifference for the law and the welfare and rights of others. The impact of the fraudulent activities included loss of retirement savings, illness, poverty, and for some Americans, even death resulting from suicide. This greedy behavior contributed to the public's outrage and sense that big businesses operated according to a different set of rules than did everyone else. It also showed their abuse of power. The majority were also alarmed at the unwillingness or inability of the U.S. government to enforce laws and develop policies to control this excessive behavior. And this is a chart showing the annual U.S. income of the top 1% American citizens. So we see over the years it has fluctuated, with the example of the Great Depression being 23.9%. And as of 2007, during that time, it also went back up. What did these protesters want? The Occupy movement anticipates a shift in power from the minority of individuals to the majority of citizenry through organized pressure to achieve social reform. They identified their goals as: we must be accountable to ourselves, and our government must be accountable to us, and the corporations themselves must be accountable to the government. Movement supporters stress that they are advocating for the public and not for private interests. The protester demographics. The people involved in this movement were from all walks of life. They were predominantly from formerly middle, and lower socio-economic classes. Participants included college students, college professors, parents, housewives, grandparents, nurses, physicians, and other citizens from other walks of life. Even celebrities joined in the fight to bring social reform to the masses and lent their voices to get the message across. How to get involved. These individuals and organizations are coming together to form an alliance, looking for common ground to address social injustice and societal inequalities. To achieve change, we have to get involved in the movement by ensuring we educate ourselves about this movement, provide opportunities for classroom discussion by relating current social change efforts with those that occurred in an organized manner in the 60s, and also, if comfortable, identify ways to become directly involved. The only way to get what we want as U.S. citizens is to go out and get it. And these are my references. And thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.